Thank you so much, Michelle, for the wonderful introduction. It's really amazing. What an amazing audience all of you are. I'm really happy to meet all of you. So myself, Uma Saraswati, I'm a consulting professional and a wellness coach living in Pune. I'm very happy to talk about longevity and biohacking with all of you. Let me quickly share my screen now. All right. So let's deep dive and deepen our understanding on longevity. Right? Before we go into the details, let me ask you a question, right? Type in your answers in the chat. What is your chronological age minus your body age? What's basically the difference? It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 5, 10, 15. Come on. Yeah. Yes. Keep going. Exactly. So one of our coaches here, his chronological age is 50, but his body age is 35. So actually the difference is 15. Yeah. When I joined, like Michelle said, in 3 years back, I was 35 and I didn't know my body age that time was. When now I am 38, my body age is 36. Still gained 2 years. So yeah, so type in the chat. For those who are wondering what your chronological or body age is, it's nothing but, okay, I think my screen is not moving. Just give me a second. Okay, can you all see now?
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So for those wondering what your body age is often called biological age, right? It's a way of measuring how well your body is functioning compared to your actual chronological age or birth age. Basically, you can be much younger, not in just your mind, but also in your body. Like you might have received a lot of compliments after you started your health journey that you look much younger than your age. Oh, you look, you can be like 30s, but you might have received compliments. Oh, you look like 20s, early 20s. Or it can be actually the other way around, right? So it's not just how you simply look. It is also deep how what your body is, right? Let's understand. So chronological age is basically your normal, what we call it as normal age, your birth age, right? Basically, someone who was born in 2000, and right now he must be 25 years old. So that's straightforward chronological age. That doesn't get changed with your lifestyle habits or your environment. It doesn't get changed. But your body age, yes, it definitely gets influenced, whether based on how sedentary you are, what lifestyle you have, what are you eating, how you're exercising, how much you're stressed, it all makes a difference, right? So now how would you find what your body age is? Nowadays, most digital weighing machines comes with the body composition meter where you can find out, else you can check in any gyms nearby. Yeah. So now look at this picture and tell me, which is the longevity that you would prefer? Would you be, somebody who's like 85-year-old, like Ed, and who's participating in a marathon? Or somebody at your 80, in your hospitals or having medications, right? Obviously, we all know the answer how we want to be. We want to live longer, healthy, and not just by any means, right? So understanding this is basically the biohacking. Now, let me tell you, I don't know how many of you know this infamous Brian Johnson. Does anyone know about this person? Okay, let me tell you, right? So he's a multimillionaire, right? So he's a multimillionaire. He's experimenting with his body. He's trying to reverse aging, right? He's performing experiments and all. So he's spending millions of dollars in reversing age. He's currently, so this person is Brian, and this is his son, who's 19-year-old and he's right now 47-year-old. So what he's basically doing is he's injecting his son's blood into his body, right? And trying to, reverse the change. And doing several other experiments. So do you think doing all this will have no side effects? Right. So what you see on this picture on the down is basically what some of his side effects are. You never know what else is going to come in, right? So tampering with the nature or anything, right? So that's not really. And then there are also people who are trying out, weight loss pills, extreme workouts, extended fasting, no carb or zero carb diet, gene editing. That's another extreme. Skipping meals. No, are these really biohacks, or can you hack your body and get into a result, something that you're looking for without any side effects? No, right? So can you actually biohack our body without any side effects? What if I say yes? Right? So that's exactly what we're going to see. This is how we can actually biohack. It's very simple, plain sight, right? It's not a new hack. It is not something that we're going to learn new. We are something what we have always learned, right? It's built around these 6 core pillars. So let's look at each of them, starting with food. So now tell me, we all know about a lot of things. Okay, protein, carbs, fats, and carbs. We all need so much nutrients daily. Look at this meal and type it in the chat and tell me if this is a balanced food or not. Okay. What about this? This is a typical North Indian food or maybe Central India. Okay. What about this? I come from South India, so pretty much, what I know, rice, sambar, rasam, poriyal, some curd with appalam. This is a balanced food, according to you. Huh? Okay, very good. Let me ask you then, once again, this one, biryani, carbs, proteins, we have eggs, salads, and some curry. What about this one? Okay. Yes. So what is really a balanced meal? So how does a balanced meal really looks like? So I've not put any sample here in purpose. Ideally, your plate should be with all the necessary nutrients, right? So some carbs, proteins, fats, lots of fibers, right? So what proportion? Proportion is what it matters, right? We don't ask you to eat less or starve. No, eat well, eat proportionally, right? 25% of your protein, either your meat or dal, your lentils, all those comes from your protein sources. And what are your carb sources? It's not just plain old rice or plain old roti. It should be either a fiber rich, with millets or whole grains, which is having a good fiber rich carbs, right? And what is the most biggest component that it should make? Your vegetables, right? So we included fruits, but actually vegetables for lunch or breakfast is much better. Fruits, you can take it intermittently, but vegetables constitute the biggest, highest source of fiber. So 50% or more of your vegetables, 25 protein and 25 carbs. The fat in the form of ghee or seeds in your salads, that makes your fat, right? So and also maybe once in a week, one meal, fasting, right? The light fasting doesn't mean just water, with just fruits will help your gut reset, right? So that's how you can basically biohack your food protein, right? All right. So now let's go into the next pillar, exercise. Wow. Look at this, right? So guess who has the higher risk of cardiac arrest? A obese person who's exercising regularly, or a sedentary person, in a normal weight or ideal weight, a lazy lifestyle, right? Who do you think has the highest risk? Exactly. So 30 to 50%, right? There's a lower risk of cardiovascular disease for somebody who's, even obese and exercising daily compared to a normal person, the normal weight. 50% lesser risk. Imagine that. That's a big number. And let me tell you some other statistics, right? So lifestyle disorders like heart disease, diabetes, cancer, chronic respiratory conditions now account for more than 60% of deaths in India. 60%, just the lifestyle disorder. Can you imagine where we are heading? A nationwide screening of 2.5 million people relieved, 65% had fatty liver, and 85% of those being non-alcoholic cases. Look at it. Those who are not really drinking alcohol have been this, but still have fatty liver. That's quite scary, right? So 46% had silent heart attacks despite no visible symptoms. So these are just building, right? These are initial symptoms. And even like if you compare among college students, 28% were overweight or obese and 19% were pre-hypertense. Those numbers are really enough, right? So exercise is something, it's no longer, right, a luxury, it is a necessity. It has come out. Now, coming to exercise, there are different types of exercise out there, right? So Zumba, Pilates, there are whatnot, there are CrossFits. There's so many fancy words that are coming out, but really it boils down to these 4 types: strength exercise, aerobic, it can be a flexibility, and a balance, right? Your regular walking, jogging, all those comes under aerobic, right? Your floor exercise like squats, push-ups, weights, all comes under strength. Right? Flexibility, yoga, Pilates, all of comes under flexibility and balance, the rest of them. So essentially it falls under these 4 categories. So what is your preference, right? Do you prefer to do yoga, or do you prefer to have a good jog and hit the gym or swimming? Like what? Usually yoga, lovers don't like, cardio workouts, and the cardio don't like yoga. So what's your preference usually? Or is it, we just do walking every day? And do you think that is sufficient? Just walking every day, you think, okay, I'm counting this one, but it is really sufficient? No, we need all types of exercise to be healthy. We need all 4 of them, mix of workouts. But for those who have any knee pain or arthritis or any other medical condition who are not able to do, or, I would recommend you to talk to your coach or those who are, person who have invited to you to this for more guidance, right? So don't just go by your preference, instead go with what your body actually needs, right? That is how you can biohack and exercise. Okay, let's go to the next pillar, which is mostly overlooked, right? We deprioritize sleep over anything. That becomes our last, excuse me. So type in your answers now. How many hours of sleep do you get every day? Right? Okay. So are you, are you a person who's arguing, actually, my quality of sleep is more than quantity, irrespective of whatever the number of hours you sleep? Or are you the person who think, how do you know, if you're getting the required amount of sleep? Are you still wondering that question? So let's find out. So what you look at, there are so many different gadgets out there nowadays to basically find out how if you're getting enough sleep or not. Either some of you might not prefer wearing them, but that's completely okay, right? At least to know where you stand. You can try it for a week or 2, just to observe what's the amount of sleep that you get. It's still good to identify or understand where we are. The reason I'm saying is what gets measured gets done, right? Only when we know where we are, we'll whether we want to improve or not, we will understand, right? So find out what's your sleep pattern. So for those who know what your sleep pattern looks, right? So this is how typically mostly our sleep pattern looks. So the cycles that you see on the screen, basically we go into sleep We go into light sleep, then into a deep sleep, which is called non-REM, and then come up, and then there will be a REM cycle, and this cycle continues. So for every 90 minutes, this cycle repeats, right? Every 90 minutes. So you see in the picture, actually the two cycles have got complete than rest of them. 3 completes are still incomplete, right? Many will have different patterns, but in this particular case, 2 cycles have been completed and the rest has not completed. So the quality of sleep that we all want, right, depends on how much deep sleep that we have, right? What is the bottom portion, right? How some trackers show differently here in saying like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Some will have say deep sleep, light sleep, REM, and then awake stage, right? So there are different stages. So it is advised to have a minimum 20% of your total sleep in deep sleep state. Then a minimum of 20, right? 20 and above is always good. So how can you really improve this? If you're somebody who's like having very less deep sleep, then your body is not really healing, right? So how can you improve this? Like your screen time before bed, meditation, breathing techniques, all of those are there. But despite those, if you're still facing sleep problem, I would recommend you to connect with our coach. They'll help you, give tips. There are different apps that can help you deepen the sleep. Like Naren mentioned this morning, he is getting more than 3 hours, so which is amazing. So yeah, do reach out to your coach. Right. Now, let's go to the interesting, most favorite pillar, stress. Right. Now, I'll just ask 3 questions. You don't need to answer in the chat, but take a pencil and a paper, right? Write down. What is your stress level from a scale of 1 to 10? Yeah. All right. The second question. From where does your stress come from? Is it coming from your past? You're thinking about something and it keeps stressing you? Or is it something now in your work environment or your home or your neighbors? Whatever it is it present? Or is it something related to future or due to anxiety? Okay, what is going to happen? How am I going to manage this? Is it because of the future? Where does your stress come from? The third question. Which of these areas stress you the most? Is it finance, health, career, relationship, or anything different? Think about it. Yeah. Now, think whether a normal meditation or a breathing technique will solve all the issues or all the stress that you have. Read it? Very good. Not? I would highly recommend get yourself a stress audit done. Like I told you before, what gets measured gets done. A stress audit will help you assess if your stress level is really manageable or if you need help or intervention before it is too late or start affecting your health. So do your stress audit. Now coming to our next pillar, environment. I hope most of you have finished dinner by now, right? So looking at these apps, I hope it's not making you order. Let me ask you a few questions. When did you last order your food? Was it today? Was it yesterday night? When did you last order? Okay. And how many orders? Look at your app, open it, see your monthly dashboard or report wherever you can. How many orders have you done in this month? Check it out. We don't usually check that, but check it out. Yeah. Or are you somebody who's thinking, okay, I'm eating, all 5 days where home food, home cooked food, weekend junk, one day is fine. Are you somebody who's of that opinion, right? Then let me give you an example, right? You have a very nice luxury car that you really, admire and passionate about, right? And you use it daily. You're very fond of it. You go and travel every day. And you fill in the fuel, like let's say it's a petrol engine and you fill in regularly and use it. And one day, let's say you will use kerosene and drive. What do you think will happen? Is it going to be the same luxury vehicle or, is it going to work the same way? It is the same for your body. Whether if it's a weekend food or anything, it is going to be the same effect. So think about what we are eating. Then, yeah, the chemicals you use, interestingly, I just read it somewhere, every day we just before our breakfast, at least, we are facing 26 chemicals just in our home, right? Right from, okay, maybe we are using a mosquito coil or a one toothpaste, your soap, body wash, your floor cleaner, shampoo, perfume, you know, your toilet cleaners, dishwasher, the plates that you're using, your skincare products, right? Even the water bottle you drink, plastics, right? So you're facing with so many chemicals, 26 chemicals just before your breakfast. And imagine you have not even stepped out, right? So you forget air pollution, noise pollution, all the dust and everything, right? Within your home, I'm talking about this environment. So we are exposed to these many chemicals these days, right? So if you can replace all these with the toxin-free choices, would you be healthier? Think about it. Now, you all know enough about cookwares already, so I'll make it very simple, right? So think about just looking at the non-stick pan on the top left, right? Where do you think that coating went? Or the scratches in the aluminum? Where do you think this all came from, or where did it go? And if you're a person, okay, I'm not using aluminum anymore, I'm not using non-stick, I'm using steel. There's right in front of you a steel picture, a pan, which is also a steel. Is that really stainless steel, do you think? Right? So what quality of steel goes in? And your cooker, right? So inside a cooker, look at the temperature, right? So it's 250 degrees Celsius, it's going to go up and it's going to cook your vegetables or rice or whatever, your dal, when you put it, 250, right? At this temperature, what will happen to your food? Ideal temperature for the nutrients to retain in a vegetable is 40 to 60 degrees Celsius. So what is going to really happen to your vegetables? Think about it, right? And if you're thinking just, okay, it's just once in a while, I'm making it a low sim or whatever, but be very careful with your cookware, right? So one cookware that we are using every day, right? We have 3 meals in a day, right? In a week, it is like 7, so 21 meals in a week. So your one cookware, like one mistake you do is basically 21 times in a week. So your cookware is very critical that what you use for your day-to-day work, food. So choose the right cookware to understand if you're using the right cookware, to know which is the right one. Contact your person who invited you to this session, and they'll help you. Right? Coming to our last pillar, belongingness. In the interest of time, let me go very quick, right? So look at the picture. Which of these group do you think your child, you want to be friend with, right? You want to be, your kid to be with part of the group A or group B, right? Or which one, do you want to be friend? An angry child or a supportive child? You know the answer. We all know. So now think about your top 5 friends. Think, right? How many of your friends, amongst these top 5 friends have the BMI of less than 25? How many of them are not obese, don't have diabetes or thyroid or any other lifestyle changes? How many are not stressed or unhappy? What are their eating habits? What are their exercise habits? Are they financially stable? How many don't have loans? That's a powerful statement. How many of them feel secure in their job? So now you know answer. You already know if you're belonging to the right group of not, right? Based on these answers. So that is how you can know if you're in basically accommodated in the environment you're already living, or are you in a area where you are yourself and you want to be, right? Where you want to be. That's where we have. So you already saw in the videos that we came across all the LYL kids that we have, whom we are grooming to be a great leaders. We have similarly Band of Brothers for men and Tribe of Supers for women. I'm extremely grateful to be part of such a wonderful community. I've personally benefited from the TOS. I've learned from each of the women out there, and I'm continuing to grow, right? So most of these places, it's open for everyone to join. Some of the places we have waitlist. So do contact your coach if you want to be such a group prioritizing wellness, right? That is all I had to share. I hope you had something to learn from you. Thank you so much. Over to you, Michelle.